Hello everybody, it's Josie here. I'm going to be doing my TBR today for this round of the Queer Lit Readathon. Obviously Queer Lit is kind of my jam, and I love this readathon. I took part in it the first time it came around, so in the first round, loved it. This is the second round, cannot wait. It starts on the 1st of December and runs through to the 7th, so you've got a good few days to read the books. I've got quite a large pile of books. I can't promise I'm going to get through all of them, but I'm going to try. Some of them are rereads, so seeing as it's December, this starts my reread session. And actually there's two that are new, but I finished my TBR and I've bought them in new, so I finished my goal of finishing my TBR, and one is a new release that I am dying to get to, so I'm going to use the readathon to read it straight away. So there is a bingo board and there are challenges. I was looking at the books I want to read and trying to fit them into the challenges. At the moment, I can't cover all challenges, but I'm going to try as best as possible, and I'll tell you which books would fall under which challenges. So, let me take some water. Still a little bit sick. And let me tell you what I'm going to read. So, the first book I've got here, and this starts my December rereadathon, and this is Lost Souls by Poppy C. Bright. I talk about this book a lot. It's one of my all-time favourite books. It's basically New Orleans, it's vampires, it's gay vampires. It's really gorgeous, well-written, chilling, but yet really emotional queer vampires, and I love it, and I will do a full review on this book and talk more about how much I love it, but this is my first one. So this one is actually going to just fall under choose your own category. So there's a category that says choose your own category, tell us what is in your TBR, and this is in my TBR, so I'm going to use it. Then the next book is this one over here. So this is one of the new books that I've just bought. I found this one in a charity shop, which I was really pleased about, and it's Adaption by Melinda Lowe. I've read two other Melinda Lowe books that I really loved. So Huntress and, what's the Cinderella one? Oh, it's up here somewhere, Ash. Huntress and Ash. And I really love those books. So this one, I think, has more of a sci-fi bent. So the synopsis says that birds are dying, falling from the sky, and then the protagonist, who's Reese, I think, Reese is the protagonist, yeah, she has to choose between her old love, which is a boy, and her new love, which is a girl. So the main character is bisexual in this book, so this one kind of fits in, I'm just looking at this fits into the bisexual or pansexual main character bucket, so I thought it fits nicely into that. Let me read it and we'll see what it's like. So this is YA, sci-fi, we'll see how it goes. Then the next new ones, these are the two new ones. The next new one is this gorgeous book. So it's Girls of Storm and Shadow. This is the follow-up to Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. This is absolutely one of my all-time favorite books. Well, the first one was. This is the sequel. Waited a year to read it. What the series is about is you have this alternate kingdom where there's a demon king. And every year he chooses paper girls who are essentially his concubines, both willingly and unwillingly. So the series does contain content warnings for sexual assault and rape and violence against women. But it's so well written. I love this. I love the fantasy context. The two main characters here, so one of the paper girls falls in love with one of the other paper girls. And I won't, if you haven't read the first one, I can't really say that much about this one, but this kind of continues the story of Girls of Paper and Fire. I loved the first one, so I'm really looking forward to this. This falls under the POC author, actually probably Melinda Lowe would as well. Does it fall under anything else? No. So POC author, and again, just I'm dying to read this, so. Then the next one, so this is another reread. I read this ages and ages ago, and I thought I'd try and give it another go. I didn't really think about the fact that it's very long, but it's this book over here. It's Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. Sarah Waters writes historical lesbian fiction mainly, and the thing with me is I'm not really a historical fiction lover generally. There's a few books that I've liked that have been historical fiction, but it's not really my favourite genre. So this book, but I love the story, and I watched the miniseries as well, which I really like. So this book is falling under the category historical fiction, and also under the category genre you don't usually read, because I kind of wanted to tick that off. I wanted to try something or read something that I don't normally read, and this will be it. So Tipping the Velvet, like I said, is set in, oh god, when is it set? Way back, I think in the roaring, no, it can't be the roaring 90s, surely. I think it's like the 20s. something like that. Anyway, they are, so I think you've got God, what I'm trying to remember is like an oyster girl, like a girl from a lower class, and then she goes into like performing and she meets another girl, and they kind of, I think it's theatre performance type of thing. It's been so long since I've read this. I really should have read the back. Yeah, an oyster girl goes into the music hall in the East End, yeah. So it's, like I said, I really liked it. Historical fiction is not something I normally read, so yes, let's see if we can get to that. Don't know if I can finish it before the readathon. And then the next one is another reread, and it's this book over here. It's The Lost Coast by Amy Rose Capetta. Talked about this one a lot as well. I love this book. It is witches, it is queer witches, and it is lyrical and beautifully written. I only read it this year. It's on my list of one of my favourite books of the year, sort of my top 10 books of the year. So that's why I'm trying to reread a lot of those books as well, just to see if I still have that kind of strong affinity for them, particularly ones that I've maybe read a few months ago. And this is one of them. This fits into the category, I think, of rainbow cover, because the colours on those trees and the wording is very much rainbow coloured, to me, anyway. And it's also in own voices. Amy Rose Capetta is non-binary and queer, I believe. So this is just, yeah, it's, yeah, I love this book. It's one of my favourites, so I want to reread it. And then the last one that I really have is, falls into the category of non-fiction. And it's this gorgeous book. So Just Kids by Patti Smith. Again, I just recently did a video on my favourite books of all time, and I did say, if I had to put my head on a blog, this is probably my favourite book of all time. And it's, this is a very beautiful edition. So it's an illustrated edition. It's got pictures and photographs and that in it. But essentially what this is Patti Smith, a biography of her time with Robert Mapplethorpe, of their love, of their ascent to stardom, really, to becoming who they were, who they are, to who she is today, and just this gorgeous setting of the 1970s New York, the Chelsea Hotel, that whole kind of era of Andy Warhol and all those incredibly creative and wonderful artistic people, and it tells their story, and it tells Patti and Robert's story. It is heartbreaking. Robert Mapplethorpe and Patti Smith were in a relationship, and then he came out as gay, I guess, essentially. So that's obviously the queer element of this book, but it is, he did contract AIDS and died of AIDS, so there's some difficult bits in this book to read as well, but it is just beautiful and probably my favourite book of all time. So I really want to, even if I can't finish, like, I just want to start reading this again, because I kind of want to go into this copy because it's so pretty with all the pictures, and I just want to immerse myself back in that world of Patti and Robert in the 1970s, and just remember how much I love this book. So that is it for now. Let's see how many of those I'll get through. I will actually talk about all of them, because even if I don't manage to read them all by the 7th of December, I am still going to read all these books, so I will talk about them at one point. Let me know if you've read any of them, what you think of them, and also I'd love to know if you're taking part, what you're reading for the Queer Lit Readathon, and whether you're taking part. And I will speak to you all again very soon. Bye bye.